Realized that he wasn't there, so we couldn't say.
Chair.
Well, you're really high.
How do I get it down?
Meeting everybody from Zoom.
Call the meeting to order. June, do you have the roll call? We'll have the invocation by Robin Haruna from Unity Abandon, and then we'll have the pledge by Madeline C.
Divine presence within us. We are open to that leading spirit. We are grateful for all those that are called to serve our community, grateful for this community itself. May God protect and provide for all of our neighbors. And may divine wisdom guide and direct every decision, every choice that our city council makes. We are grateful for this community, and so it is. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You're the one who wanted to hide there.
I know, but my feet aren't even touching the ground. All right.
All right, we're going to be having the
I can't make it go
presentations,
down.
the swearing in of Counselor-elect by City Recorder.
You're going to one at a time.
No, you go down all at once.
Don't you do,
No,
it- don't,
it's one at a time.
One at a time now?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
always before they did it.
Everything
Yeah,
changes.
At once,
We should-
always did it at
Okay.
once.
Oh, yeah.
I can do this side. So raise your right hand, please. I, Archie Garrett,
I, Archie Garrett,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and the laws of the state of Oregon,
and the laws of the state of Oregon,
the charter and ordinance of the city of
the
Bandon,
charter and ordinance of the city of Bandon,
and I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of counselor
the duties of counselor
of the city of Bandon
of the city of Bandon
in the county of Coos,
in the county of Coos,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Then I just need your signature right here, sir.
Thank you.
This is really weird because I had Archie in high school. He
Thank
was in my leadership class. Here you go, Archie.
you.
Yeah. Counselor Presetto. It's going in order.
I'll just hang out here.
Okay, that's perfect. You can hang out there. Raise your right hand, please. I, Jerry Presetto,
I, Jerry Pacetto,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and the laws of the state of Oregon,
and the laws of the state of Oregon,
the charter and ordinance of the city of Bandon,
the charter and ordinance of the city of Bandon,
and I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of counselor
the duties of counselor
of the city of Bandon
of the city of Bandon
in the county of Coos,
in the county of Coos,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Jerry, tell everybody how many years. You just figured this out.
I'll sign that.
I think you know
28?
this. Yeah.
28. I'm going into my 29th?
Yep.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Congratulations. Jerry. Do the handshake, please.
Oh, the handshake.
Counselor Slockhauer? You just did yours, but you have to redo it again.
It doesn't carry over?
No, sir, it doesn't. Otherwise, we would never have to do her because she has. Raise your right hand, please. I, Gerald Slothauer,
I, Gerald Slothauer,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution,
that I will support the Constitution
the laws of the state of Oregon,
and the laws of the state of Oregon,
the charter and ordinance of the city of Bandon,
the charter and ordinance of the city of Bandon,
and I will fully discharge
and I will fully discharge
the duties of counselor
the duties of counselor
of the city of Bandon,
for the city of Bandon
and county of Coos,
and county of Coos,
according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
according to the best of my abilities, so help me God.
Thank you. We can sign this, please. Congratulations. Oh. Madam Mayor? Can you recite this without me telling?
I probably could.
You probably could. Raise your right hand, please. I, Mary Schermerhorn,
I, Mary Shamahorn,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution and laws of the state of Oregon,
that I will support the Constitution and the laws of the state of Oregon,
the charter and ordinance of the city of Bandon,
the charter and the ordinances of the city of Bandon,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of mayor
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of mayor
of the city of Bandon
of the city of Bandon,
in the
county
county
of Coos,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help.
So help me God. And I too I was 9 years on the city council and 20 years as mayor. So Jerry and I both have 29 years. Now I take this. Okay,
Now
thank,
shake your hand.
I forgot. I forgot.
Thank you.
So picture of the original swearing in that I never got to.
Oh, okay.
Did you get it down?
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, yes, thank you.
Okay, the next thing are the consent calendar
Josh.
items.
Mhm.
Is there anything that anybody wants to have removed to talk about?
No, I don't think so.
Move to approve?
Second,
Been moved by Josh, seconded by Madeline to approve the consent agenda. All in favor?
aye.
Aye. Unanimous.
Wants to raise our hands?
Okay. Next here. Under old and new business, the first item is the election of a council president.
I'd like to nominate myself.
I would like to nominate Madeline Seymour.
Well, I think what you have to do here, if there's he's nominated himself, then if he doesn't get a second, then the motion dies.
Second.
All right, Bear seconded it, all right. Okay. And then please raise your hand. All in favor of Josh?
Wait a minute, what, Jerry just nominated me.
No, but you have to go through one, he.
Oh, one at a time.
There
One
has
at
to be
a time.
second.
Sorry,
right.
one at a time.
So you three, all right, so it's approved 4-2. Josh
Okay.
will be the new council president.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item is a request to initiate street vacation proceedings, Helena Street, George Street, Matilda Street, and Mary Street. I never heard of any of these streets before, but obviously they're streets.
I had to look them up.
Yeah.
I know.
They're
So I
outside.
guess Dana or somebody's gonna be.
Yes,
talking
that one's
about
me.
these.
So this is a request that we received from Bandon Beach Ventures LLC to vacate the streets, as you mentioned. I was going to say you've probably never heard of them because they're unopened streets. They were platted as part of a historic subdivision, but they were never built out. Nonetheless, they do still exist as platted rights of way, and in order to build construct the Gravel Point development, those streets do need to be vacated and then replatted. So we received a petition from the property owner, and we found that the application was correct. Oregon state law requires that the city council review that. And if there's no significant reason to deny their petition, then we set a date for the hearing. We've recommended that you set the date for February 3rd, 2025 at 7 p.m. in the City Council chamber, and city staff will notice appropriately. Please let me know if you have any questions.
Dana, this project has come before us several times with the whole rendering. So why during that stage didn't we see these streets maybe outlined or something? Instead of at the last of this, bringing it to us now. I mean, the streets are going nowhere anyway, but I didn't even know they were there.
Clear.
I didn't even know they were there.
Sure, they were, the applicant did submit as part of their original request, their conditional use permit request, they did submit documents that showed the existing platted rights of way. We did discuss with them the possibility of having it vacated during the conditional use permit process. And I'd actually go over the criteria in the city's comprehensive plan to consider the street vacation, but ultimately it's a decision, it's a separate action. So the city council has to make the decision to vacate streets rather than the planning commission, which considered their conditional use permit.
And we couldn't have done it when we did Carter.
When you did Carter.
Yeah. We did Carter a long time ago.
Oh, like a long time ago? I mean, you
Yeah.
could have vacated them a long time ago, but that was prior to this request.
Oh, they hadn't requested until now.
Yeah, the request just came in. a month ago.
Okay. Sorry. All right.
But these vacated streets are inside the original footprint of their.
Yeah, they're inside the hotel project.
That's correct. Yeah, they were identified in there. It was just a process decision to request the vacation now.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No, make a motion to hold a hearing, February 3rd, city council meeting.
Second that?
Been moved by Madeline, is that Archie?
Yes.
Madeline and by Art, second by Archie to approve, to hold a public hearing on February 3rd on that issue. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay, the next item is scheduling a town hall meeting in compliance with Bandon Comprehensive Plan Policy for Citizen Involvement.
That one's also me.
Okay,
So the city's comprehensive plan requires conformance with the statewide 19 planning goals. The first one of which they call the foundational goal, is citizen involvement. The idea is that in Oregon, we're unique and citizens are involved in all phases of the planning process. And to that end, the city has what we call our citizen involvement program that tells us how we are supposed to engage with our citizens through the Committee for Citizen Involvement, the CCI, which the Planning Commission acts as right now. We were fortunate recently to have our rare AmeriCorps member serving with us, and she has been working on updating, coming up with new ideas for that citizen involvement program to just update it and modernize it. But one of the components that we came across was this requirement to have an annual town hall meeting, which we really just haven't had the staff capacity to have in quite some time in this sort of formal way. But what we're proposing is to have one this year while we have the added capacity. And the topic that we were discussing was growth management, because it seems to meet a lot of the council's goals. The term growth management is used to describe strategies or plans a jurisdiction has for ensuring services are available to meet population increases and demands over time. A majority of our comprehensive plan was written 20 to 30 years ago, so a lot of the issues that we're dealing with now might not have been contemplated when those original documents were created. We hope to have this sort of town hall meeting to answer the following questions or to consider them. Does Bandon have sufficient infrastructure or funding for infrastructure to meet future population demands? How will services and infrastructure be affected by annexation of areas identified in the urban growth boundary? And what is the role of local government in meeting these demands? I think a lot of the recent planning projects that we've seen come through have sparked a lot of conversation with our community about what growth is going to look like over the next 5 to 10 years. So I think it's the perfect time to start having these conversations at a pretty casual and not too formal way. So that's what we're hoping to do with the town hall meeting. We'd like to host it at the barn, make it open to anyone in the public. We've talked about having some panel discussions or stations that people could go to learn a little bit more. We're open to feedback from the city council about what you'd like to see. But if you are okay with that, we'd love you to make a motion to direct staff to organize a town hall meeting to discuss growth management.
How far in the future are you looking at for this?
I believe we were looking at March. Yeah, middle of March.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm wondering, while I think it's a good idea, I would like to have maybe a little more input on the questions that are being asked. Because, for example, I've got the Portland State population growth figures, and we had 0 population growth over the last year. But what we do have is a vacancy rate of 19%, which means that 19% of the homes in this town are mostly vacant. They're owned by people who don't live here. And so it's not increasing the population. It's increasing, they're taking away the houses from anybody that wants to rent or buy, but they're not really, they're just taking, they're not really a benefit because they're not here in the wintertime. They're not supporting our merchants. They're not VRDs. So no income is coming in as far as the city is concerned. So I don't think, I remember when I was on the council years ago, I went on the council in 77. At that time, Ray Kelly, that was the mayor, I think he predicted there'd be 10,000 people here within like 5 years. Well, that was 40 years ago. And the population growth has been so small just because of the demographics of the people who are buying and affording to live here. So I think we really need to look at the empty houses and how we could benefit, how either the people in the community could benefit from them or the city could benefit from them. Because that seems to be the direction that we're going.
And Dana, could you bring some of those questions or comments that people have been making to us at the February meeting?
Sure, we haven't put that up on the website yet. We wanted to get permission from you first. One of the requests is that we'd like to put something on the website to allow the community to ask questions of us so that we know what people are interested in at this meeting. So when that goes up on the website, we can make sure that information is available to you
Okay.
in advance. I'm happy to come back at the February meeting with more opportunity for discussion about, as we continue to flesh out what the meeting looks like,
Good.
Right.
opportunity for the council to weigh in.
Okay.
Sounds
Make a
good.
motion to direct staff to organize a town hall meeting to discuss growth and management. Sorry? Somebody tried to talk?
I'd like to say something.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, see, I can't tell when.
I know,
somebody's-
whenever you
can't-
talk, I
Yeah,
look down
it
there.
sounds like you're down there.
I don't know why.
Oh.
Sorry.
Ventriloquist, you know.
Yeah,
There you are.
okay.
No, I was wondering, one thing that kind of proposed is a non-resident fee or tax, although I know we can't add fees or taxes. We can call it whatever we want. But a non-resident charge for people who have homes here but don't live here. Is there a way we can do that, Madam Mayor? Do you
Well,
know?
we've asked Tori that. We have
I
definitely
have
asked
too.
Tori that. And even things like it's not really the same issue, but a construction excise tax, because the houses that are being built here now are very high-end houses. And if we had, the state allows you to assess, I think, up to a 1% tax, and then like 50% of that has to go for affordable housing. So you have to start a fund that would help with affordable housing. And I think we're losing a huge lot of income by allowing people to come in here. It's cheap to build, well, it's cheap to live here because of our utility rates, and our property taxes are the lowest in the area. So people come here and I don't think they would have any problem paying a 1% tax, but I think you're right. I think we need to look at other ways that they can help to support the community.
And
Anything we put on developers are going to pass on to their clients. And their clients don't care because they're normally coming here and building a lot cheaper than they could in any other state.
well, and what I'm thinking is not just a one-time tax, but a yearly
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah,
tax.
yeah,
yeah.
Okay. All right. The other question I have is, would this meeting include utility rates?
No.
I think that needs to be a
No.
separate.
That's a,
issue.
that's a,
Yeah, that's a,
Yeah.
that's
Then
a
I
main
wanna-
issue. And
how do we go about setting up a
And
workshop
Josh are-
for talking about utility
yeah,
rates?
we're gonna have to form a committee with some of the
Yes.
new counselors and
Yep.
get
Or
started
you have
on
to
that. But I think
understand,
that's,
we've been through this for many, many.
yeah, that's,
years.
we've gone to the voters 9 times on that. and-
Well, I'm,
All right.
oh, okay.
Oh,
Motion is not
You're right.
We have a second.
Do I
Thank
have
you.
Second, anybody?
We
Okay.
didn't have a second, so we could. still
Archie
talk
seconded.
on it.
Archie
Archie
seconded.
seconded, all right. To go ahead and
Yes.
have a town hall meeting.
Yes.
All in favor? Unanimous.
Bear, I love your enthusiasm. We've been doing that for years.
Well, and that's what Archie wants to take on too.
Good. You guys, I'm. Be August.
All right, public comments.
It's
This is
good to
the-
get some new blood into it because we've exhausted what we think would work and you guys are new. Bring us ideas, please.
Well,
Come right in.
So could we motion to have a workshop or on that?
a work session.
Yeah, work session?
Can we make a motion to do that?
To have a,
To have a work session
where
on
we-
utility rate?
well, we want to have a committee. I'm gonna appoint a committee and
Yeah.
then you guys can do whoever.
Have them be the
committee-
liaisons on the committee.
Yeah. Bear and Archie will be the liaisons on the committee, or maybe the
Okay.
chair, who knows? But
Okay.
we'll talk about that. That
Yeah.
doesn't take a motion.
Yeah.
Okay, public comment. Anybody in the audience wishing to address the council?
Don't forget.
Neil?
Hi, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Hope you came down and enjoyed my place over the last 2 weeks. Anyway, hello, my name's Neil Barlow. I have lived in Bandon nearly 2 years now and operated a business in Old Town for 6 months-ish. So I realize I'm still a newbie, but I have some thoughts which I thought I would lay on you. They're about refreshing Old Town, because I've been down there quite a bit now, that I hope can be funded through the tourist-related expenses of the TOT rather than general fund. First of all, I'd like to suggest regular street cleaning and sidewalk cleaning, if possible. Repainting the road markings, the parking spaces, the lane markings, the crosswalks and stuff like that. Nothing, I'm not trying to do anything dramatic, just things that would just freshen the things up. Refurbishing the sidewalk furniture like benches. I know some of them are related to stores, but just the ones sort of bought by the city. And the cigarette butt stands. I don't know quite the right term for those.
But those aren't the cities.
Aren't they? Okay, so maybe work with the owners of this, and I think the port, they have the old lights along the boardwalk, which we did a great job of the city lights. But then you go across into the boardwalk and you see those old green lights out
Go
there.
to a port commission meeting.
We're-
There.
Green light.
We're working on that.
Okay. Also, I actually love the barrel trash cans, but they need some TLC.
They're looking pretty weathered.
They're well loved.
Too.
We're working on those too.
Good. And if you are, that's great. I just thought I said been spending a lot of time in Old Town recently. The other thing would be to repaint the fire hydrants. That would be do that. And I can see TOT working in Old Town. I don't know if that can be extended to Beach Loop. Because if you look at some of the fire hydrants along there, and if it can't, I'd like to suggest an adopt a fire hydrant program. And I would personally adopt the fire hydrant on Beach Loop and Seabird, because it's right across from my house. It looks a bit worse for wear with the rust and everything. I think it would just look spruce things up if the fire hydrants were repainted. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Neil.
Thank you.
I saw Tori taking quite a few notes for Public Works.
I took a few notes too. All right, anybody else?
Zoom. Anybody on Zoom?
Okay, I want to read something that somebody asked me to read in, and it goes right along with what Neil said, except not quite the same. I wanted the city crew to know how nice and tidy the town looks as I drive around. The streets are clean and trees and shrubs are taken care of as necessary on city property. The town is very inviting and I am glad to live here. There's always two sides to everything. In fact, last time I talked about the sidewalk to nowhere and Denise jumped up and said she loved it. So
Yeah.
there's always two sides to everything. Anybody else wanted to address?
Yeah, I kind of work weird hours. The mornings I go in, I believe it's Thursday morning. I know I'm running ahead or I'm behind if the street sweeper has gone past my building. And he only runs when it's not raining.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know they're out there every Thursday doing the street. Maybe it needs to be more, I don't know, but I mean, yeah. When I see him down by the port, I'm kind of thinking, all right, I'm good.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, when he's come by where I'm parking, I'm going, I gotta get in there.
The cigarette butts are a huge issue and
Yeah.
it's prompted by the state law, which is not enforced. And no one enforces it in the state. I mean, it's ridiculous that you would have police officers walking up and down the street enforcing someone who's smoking 10 feet from a door or window. But the merchants are the ones that can be cited if anybody's cited. So they put these awful cigarette things out in front and yeah, it's bad. But I don't know, it's catch-22. Do you want them to, they'll throw them on the sidewalk if they don't put them in these receptacles.
Mhm. Or on
So I
the
guess we
street.
have to, yeah, it's a trade-off.
Better.
Anybody else want to address the council? If not, we'll have city manager comments.
Yes, I would just like to inform the residents that I did take excessive notes here. I will discuss these issues with the Public Works Director tomorrow morning. And the larger ticket items we could perhaps program in the capital improvement budget moving forward. We are scheduled to consider a new professional services agreement with the chamber. And that may allow for additional TOT revenue generated to be spent on offsetting operating costs directly related to tourism. And I think with Old Town being the attraction that it is, it would justify and warrant the use of TOT funding to support that. Now, we only have a limited amount of TOT funding. And I think that's the reason why the council's interested in looking at other measures of generating revenue. And what we're after is ongoing reoccurring revenue. And that will help sustain us operationally moving forward. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Gabe, Shayla, Dana, anybody?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. This sort of plays into your discussion you just had in regards to having a utility rate workshop. I understand that you're going to be having some education and training for the council on February 25th. And so at that training, they're going to probably educate you on the rules and regulations in regards to executive sessions and when you can have those. And also as to public records and things of that nature. So I think all of you are actually required to go. So at that time, you'll probably learn when you can and cannot have executive sessions.
Okay. Dana, do you have anything? Bear?
No, I'm good.
Jer?
Oh, well, I'd like to congratulate
Archie.
Archie and our new president, Josh, and welcome again. And I wish everybody a happy new year.
Welcome, Archie. And I know that you went to the mill and learned quite a bit. So that's good. And I'm looking forward to working with you. Congratulations, Josh, and Happy New Year, everybody. We have a lot to do this year.
Okay, I received a call today from somebody who was concerned because the flag at the VFW Memorial out in City Park was not at half staff. And so I immediately called Billy Smith because I think he's kind of the spearhead behind it. And he said that the rope and the mechanism to lower and raise the flag is broken and that the city is ordering new, and I hope that that's been done because the flag is in tattered condition and I mean, it's been standing through all of this rain and it is in bad shape, the woman pointed out to me, but she at least was concerned because it wasn't at half staff and that's the reason why. So in case anybody asks, and they probably will, that's the reason. So hopefully we can get new rigging.
Okay, point of clarification, it's the rigging and the flag that needs to be.
Well, she was only talking about raising and lowering it, but then after I told her what Bill said about the rigging, then she said, well, the flag's in terrible, it's tattered and torn, so the flag needs to be, but I think it would be, if we got the rigging taken care of, I think the VFW would probably put a new flag up there.
I'm sure that they have flags around. They're probably just waiting for the rigging to get fixed.
Yeah, that would be my
Because if
guess.
they bring it down once and it breaks, then they can't put it back up. That's probably why they're just leaving it up.
Flags don't last in Bandon.
No, they don't.
Not this kind of weather.
No, they don't.
Josh?
I just want to say I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Congratulations to Jerry and Bear for reelection. Archie, welcome. That's all I have.
Just wanted to thank everyone for being so welcoming, the city staff and the council. Thank you guys, and thank you to the community for electing me.
Well,
Other than that, I'm all yours today. Anxious to continue to learn and do my best up here. Thank you.
Never,
now you're on.
yeah, I think we're gonna have a good year this year, get some stuff done. Should be fun.
Okay, the meeting's adjourned. Thank
Well,
you.
that was fast, Mary.
It was.